ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this special meeting of the LA City Board of Public Works for Tuesday, October 6th, which is impossible to fathom, 2020. It's good to see everybody on this great Laker Day. Dr. Campos, good morning.
Good morning, President Good. Fernando Campos, Executive Officer, establishing roll call and quorum for today. We have President Good, Vice President Garcia, President Pro Tem Davis, and Commissioner Caloza. President Good, you do have a quorum for the record. Commissioner Good and Commissioner Caloza are dialing in remotely from their City Hall offices. Commissioner Garcia and Davis are dialing in remotely from home. I am dialing in remotely from my City Hall offices. And we are also joined by our counsel, Mr. Ted Jordan, who's dialing in remotely. Commissioner Villegas is not part of quorum, but she will join you momentarily. President Good, you do have a quorum again. Currently, we do not have any commentary under the Neighborhood Council comment section. We do have one speaker lined up for item number 2 for today's special agenda.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Campos. Given no community neighborhood council impact statements or commentary, we'll move on to item 1 on the agenda. Item 1 is approval of the minutes from Friday, September 25th, 2020. Do I have a second to my motion to approve?
Second.
Thank you, Vice President Garcia. Any objections, Commissioner Caloza?
No objections, thank you.
Thank you. President Pro Tem Davis? You're muted, sir. Mike, you're muted.
No objections. Sorry about that.
No problem. Thank you. So hearing no objections, the minutes from Friday, September 25th are approved forthwith. I'm going to do a little recalibration on the agenda today. What I'd like to start off with actually is item number 3. Item number 3 is Item number 3 is from BOE and BCA. This is a contract award in CD2 to Ford EC Inc., the Chandler Tiny Home Project. This is an obvious importance to the city. And BOE is recommending the board, 1, declared Ford EC Inc., Ford, sole source bidder, and award Ford a contract for this project for $3,487,592. 2, to authorize the president or 2 members of the board to execute the contract after approval as to form has been obtained from the city attorney. And 3, recommended the board to instruct Ford to submit their bonds and insurance as soon as possible, but no later than 14 calendar days. Here with us today is Alan Kawaguchi from BOE. I will note for everyone that I believe this project would be exempt from the mayor's cost containment process. And Alan, you can shed light on that as well, but why don't you go ahead and tell us about the project.
Thank you, President Good. Good morning, President Good and Commissioners, City Attorney, and Dr. Campos. What you do have before you is a construction award to Ford EC for the amount of $3,487,592. This is the first of the shelters that is to be awarded due to the lawsuit on the city for the 6,700 to house 6,700 homeless people by December of 2021. Back in July of this year, this board gave the city engineer the authority to use the pre-qualified contractors list for municipal facilities, send out a questionnaire, and rank the firms accordingly based on the fact of being able to handle homeless construction, design, build, and a few other items. Only 3 firms responded to the questionnaires. Those firms were ranked. Ford EC was ranked number 1, and that firm was sent our set of plans. On July 15th, this board received bids from Ford. While the bid was actually 14.2% high from the city engineer's estimate, we feel that this bid is an acceptable bid. It is a design build, so the contractor pointed out that the path to travel was one area that we did not have a lot of money into it because of the fact to follow the street. We're using the street because there's no sidewalk in this area at Chandler. We're using the street with K-rails as a path to travel to the public right-of-way. and the fall of the street is greater than the ADA allows. So he had to adjust for what we call an overlay in order to level out the area. So we didn't account for that. Also, for the extent of the K rails that we had, DOT also is requesting that a traffic engineer also help design the traffic in the area. So those items, we felt that if we were to add those items in, our estimate would have been pretty much the number that the 4DC would have had. This project was presented to our weekly committee, what they call the Homes Roadmap Committee, which is made up of the CAO, the CLA, the mayor's office, and council offices. All of them supported the fact that we should go ahead and award the project. The other thing, too, to note is that, yes, this project is exempted from the mayor's cost containment measure. We do have a blanket letter. I apologize. In future reports, we will attach that as an attachment to it. The other last thing I wanted to add was that even though Ford EC, because of the urgency of the project, was exempt from the business inclusion program, Ford EC did go out and do an outreach. They did have like for MBE, a 9.55% MBE participation, a 4.51 WBE participation, 25.07 SBE, 14.68 of EBE, and 23.11 of OBE. So I thought they did a good job, even though they were not required to do so. With that, I'll entertain any questions you might have.
Thank you, Alan. And hi, Mahmoud.
Good morning, President Good.
Good to
How
see
are you today?
Good. All right, colleagues, any questions? Let's start with Vice President Garcia, or comments.
No questions. I'm excited about this project. Alan, good job, and I know that Council District 2 has been working on this as well. So I know the time will come, but I fully support this project.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vice President Garcia. President Pro Tem Davis, any?
Yeah, my observations is that I am very pleased to see that they, even though they didn't have to do it, that they had some inclusion numbers there. And I really have the greatest appreciation for their hard work. It's pressure enough to get things done in a timely manner, and then to go out and really to identify and to really have a vision for inclusion is a great thing. So thank you, Alan. We lucked up on that one.
Okay, I'll let them know that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, President Pro Tem Davis. Commissioner Villegas, welcome.
Thank you for having me. I apologize for my tardiness. Just finishing up something else this morning.
No problems. I'm going to put you on the spot quickly. Do you have any questions or comments on this? This is item number 3, which we moved up to the top.
I see it. No, I'm good with this item. I've already been familiar with it. Thank you.
Okay, great. And then Commissioner Colosa?
I don't have any questions on this, but just want to commend the entire team who work on this, from the mayor's office to BOE to the CLA. You guys have brought this before the board enough times where this almost feels normal now, that you guys have to do these projects in like 100 days or less. You're doing this one in 98 days, so that's not lost upon us, how quickly you're able to do this in record time. And the work that you put in last year to really work directly with the industry to see what's possible and pushing the boundaries on construction really paid off, because now you're able to take the model of the bridge home and turn it into what this is, which is a tiny home project. So I'm excited to see what this looks like in 98 days. So I just want to thank you all for your hard work.
Thank you.
So I would just echo that. And I do want to also add on to what President Pro Tem Davis said. I mean, I think we had a really healthy conversation around business inclusion when the first motion came through, and I really appreciate BOE's efforts in terms of including questions about that in the questionnaire, which I think invariably contributed to efforts, hopefully. And either way, it's a good outcome. Hearing that the 4DC has representative set of subcontractors involved here. So thank you all very much. Do I have a motion to move this forward?
So move.
Okay, so I'm going to take Vice President Garcia's motion. I'm going to take Commissioner Colosa and President Pro Tem Davis's seconds. Any objections or questions, Commissioner Villegas? All right, hearing none, this item is approved and approved forthwith. Thank you
very much.
Mahmoud and Alan.
Thank you.
Have a great
Thank
day.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Let's get this project done. Thanks, guys.
Okay, no problem.
All right, colleagues, I do want to, I feel like we can, there's some items at the end that I'd like to actually move up to the beginning. Let's go ahead to item number 4. There's a few AFEs I'd like to just go ahead and jump into. So let's move to item number 4.
That will be me. Hello.
Hi, Stephanie.
Yes.
This is a AFE in CD13, Bureau of Sanitation for State Water Resources Control Board. Bureau of Sanitation and Office of Accounting are requesting board approval and execution of an authority for expenditure in the amount of $123,787 to pay for annual National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System and stormwater fees as required by the State of California State Water Resources Control Board for the period of July 1, 2020 to June 30th, 2021. This would be subject to the Mayor's Cost Containment approval process. And Stephanie Osorio is here with us to explain the request. Hi, Stephanie.
Hello. All right. So good morning, President Good, Commissioners, Executive Officer, City Attorney, and Bureau Representatives. As you mentioned, my name is Stephanie Osorio, and I'm with the Water Reclamation Division at LA Sanitation. And so for this item, Bureau of Sanitation, Office of Accounting, are requesting board approval and execution of the authority for expenditure in the amount of $123,787 to pay for the annual National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System, also known as the NPDES permit, and stormwater fees as required by the State of California State Water Resource Control Board for the period that you mentioned. This is an annual fee due to the Regional Water Board for the Los Angeles-Glendale Water Reclamation Plant. And this fee would be covered by the sewer construction and maintenance funds. So with that, if you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer.
Thank you, Stephanie. Colleagues, any questions or comments on this? We'll start with you, Vice President Garcia.
No questions, thank you.
Thank you. President Pro Tem Davis.
I'm fine with this item, thanks.
Thank you. Commissioner Colosa.
I don't have any questions either, thank you.
All right. Commissioner Villegas.
I don't have any questions, but I just wanted to comment on Stephanie's presentation. Thank you. I think this is your first one. Good
Yes. Thank you.
job. I see that this is just a annual fee. I shouldn't have too many issues with it. Yeah, just going forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Villegas. Nice work, Stephanie. Congratulations on your first run with smart red headphones, no less.
Yep.
I'm going to interrupt here, but she's one of our, stellar new engineers. She's probably been with the department for maybe like 3 years or so, right, Stephanie?
It's now 2 years on August 20th. So, yeah.
Right. So I do like the headphones, though they are Miami Heat colors. So I'm gonna let that go today.
All right.
Welcome and good job. Do I have a motion to move this forward?
So move.
Thank you, President Davis. Seconded by Commissioner Villegas. Any questions or objections, Vice President Garcia?
No objections.
Commissioner Closa?
No objections.
All right. Hearing no objections, the item is approved forthwith. Thank you, Stephanie, very much. Great
Thank
job.
you.
We'll see you next time.
Mr. President, just for the record, this item was approved as amended, subject to the mayor's approval for cost containment.
Thank you. Yes, approved as amended.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Campos. All right, let's go then to item number 5. Item number 5 is also an AFE. This is our Authority for Expenditure in CD15. This is State Water Resources Control Board. Also, Bureau of Sanitation and Office of Accounting are requesting board approval and execution of an Authority for Expenditure in the amount of $170,000 to encumber funds to pay the annual National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System permit and fees as required by the California State Water Resources Control Board for the period of July 1, 2020 to June 30, 2021. Authorize the President or 2 members of the Board of Public Works to execute this service agreement. This too will be subject to the Mayor's cost containment process. Michael Fan, hello Michael. Michael's with us again today. Michael, tell us about this one.
Hi, morning President Good, Board Commissioners, Dr. Campos. So I'm Michael Fan. I'm with the Terminal Island Water Reclamation Plan. So this authority for expenditure is pretty much the same thing that Stephanie went through. So this is for National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System fees. So we're requesting the amount of $170,000, and this is those annual permitting fees plus a little contingency just in case we need to have recycled water. Plan check for like our like AWPF system. So if you have any questions, please let me know.
Thank you, Michael, very much. Any questions or comments, colleagues? Commissioner or Vice President Garcia?
No question.
Okay, Commissioner Coloso?
I don't have any questions, thank you.
Okay. President Pro Tem Davis?
None for me either. Thanks.
All right. Commissioner Villegas?
None, thank you.
All right, do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
So, second.
Okay, Commissioner Villegas got there first, seconded by President Pro Tem Davis. Any objections, Commissioner Coloso?
No objections, thank you.
Okay, Vice President Garcia?
No objections either. Thank you.
All right, hearing no objections, this item will be approved forthwith as amended, subject to the Mayor's cost containment process. Thank you, Michael, very much.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, colleagues, let's move to item number 6. This is an authority for expenditure, Outfront Deco Street Furniture LLC. Bureau of Street Services and Office of Accounting are requesting board approval and execution of an authority for expenditure in the amount of $116,176.90 to provide funds for the Stocker Crenshaw Martin Luther King Access to Expo Light Rail Transit Station project. Sarah Gandhi is with us today from Streets LA to present. Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning, President Good, and good morning, Commissioners. Yes, so Street Services, Streets LA is requesting approval for this authority for expenditure for 5 bus shelters at this intersection at Stocker and Crenshaw. This is part of a larger 2009 Metro grant that the city received, the CRA, and is now being executed through DOT. And Streets LA is working on improvements throughout that intersection, including bus pads, curb ramps, sidewalk improvements, and the bus shelters will be the final component. The funding has been approved and transferred into our accounts last year. We've re-requested those funds through the second construction projects report, or CPR. And again, this is one of many projects along the Crenshaw corridor that support Metro's work to improve that corridor as part of the Crenshaw Line project. If you have any questions, please let us know. And thank you so much.
Thank you, Sarah. Any questions or comments, colleagues? Vice President Garcia.
Hi, good morning. Sarah, I do have a question. Where is the funding coming from? I see general funds, but is this PSS is putting this money to improve the bus shelters, or is Metro paying to improve the bus shelters?
So in 2009, the CRA received a grant from Metro, and LADOT took over that grant when the CRA was dissolved. Last fiscal year, the council approved giving Bureau of Street Services $1.2 million to support this project, which includes all of the improvements we're making, in addition to this authority for expenditure for the bus benches specifically. We did need to re-request that money since it was approved last fiscal year, and that is part of the second projects report.
Thank you for that clarification. That's all with my questions.
Thank you, Vice President Garcia. President Pro Tem Davis?
I'm okay on this item.
Okay. Commissioner Villegas?
No questions. I'm good. Thank you.
Thank you. And then Commissioner Colosa?
I'm trying to think of really hard questions to ask Syra. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. I don't have any questions on this. I think, supportive of this project along MLK, and I think it's great that you guys are continuing to add more street furniture along this corridor. So thank you.
Yeah, I would just echo that. I think it's great that these amenities and the street furniture, I shouldn't even say amenities, this is stuff that should be there. It's great that Crenshaw is going to get and MLK are going to get this treatment. So exciting stuff, Syra. Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll second.
Okay. Wait, was that Garcia or Colosa?
Garcia.
Okay. Got a motion to approve from Vice President Garcia. Got a second from Commissioner Villegas. Questions, concerns, objections? Commissioner Colosa?
And none. Thank you.
Great. President Pro Tem Davis?
Fine. Thank you.
Great. All right. Hearing no objections, the item will be subject to the mayor's cost containment process, Syra, as I'm sure you know. But the item as amended is approved forthwith. Thank you very much. It's great to see you.
Great to see you too. Thank you.
Congratulations on the House.
Thanks.
All right. Let's move on to item number 7. This is an administrative item. The mayor has approved and authorized the Board of Public Works on behalf of the Bureau of Engineering to execute the proposed contract for the Mission Myers Roundabout project. Dr. Campos, is there anything you would like to add on this?
No, this is a routine item, administrative item, just a communication from the mayor's office approving the board president or 2 commissioners to execute the proposed contract.
We don't need to vote on this, do we?
We typically do accept a motion to accept and approve this communication item, authorizing you to sign the contract.
I'm certainly inclined to accept from the mayor. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Thank you, President Pro Tem Davis. Do I have a second?
Second.
We got 2 seconds. Commissioner Villegas, Vice President Garcia. Any objections, Commissioner Colosa?
No, I'm good.
All right. This item number 7 then is approved forthwith. Thank you, everyone. Item number 8. This is a stop payment notice, Western Rentals. Western Rentals is transmitting a stop payment notice in the amount of $818 for furnishing heavy equipment rentals in connection with the 913 Main Street Venice project. The primary contractor for this project is Mike Bubalo Construction Company, Inc. There's no presentation on this. Do I have a motion to approve this stop payment notice?
So moved.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Commissioner Colosa. Thank you, President Pro Tem Davis. Any questions or concerns, Commissioner Villegas?
None.
Vice President Garcia? Hearing no objections, this item number 7 is approved forthwith. Item number 8 is also a stop payment notice, Western Rentals. Western Rentals is, I'm sorry, that was number 8. We're going to number 9. Western Rentals, sorry folks. Stop payment notice, Western Rentals, item number 9. Western Rentals is transmitting a stop payment notice in the amount of $6,675.32 for furnishing heavy equipment rentals in connection with the 1602 Elevado Street, Los Angeles. Marty, 1602 Elevado Street, Los Angeles, 90026 project. The primary contractor for this project is Mike Bulow Construction Company, Inc. No presentation here. Do I have a motion to approve this stop notice payment?
So move.
All right, got a motion from Commissioner Coloso, got a second from President Pro Tem Davis. Any objections, Vice President Garcia?
No objections, thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Coloso? Excuse me, Commissioner Villegas?
Yeah, no objections, thanks.
All right, this item then is approved forthwith as well. Taking us to item number 10, another stop payment notice, Western Rentals. Western Rentals is transmitting a stop payment notice in the amount of $1,778.15 for furnishing heavy equipment rentals in connection with the East 4th Street and Seton Street, Los Angeles, California 90015 project. The primary contractor for this project is Mike Bulow Construction Company, Inc. No presentation on this. Do I have a motion to approve? I will motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Villegas. Thank you. Any objections, President Pro Tem Davis?
None for me. I'm fine on this item.
All right. Any objections, Vice President Garcia?
No objections, thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Cuoza?
None, thank you.
All right. Hearing no objections, this stop payment notice is also approved forthwith. Thank you, colleagues. That takes us back to item number 2. Item number 2 is a tree removal request, 6,000 through 6,100 block of West Century Boulevard. The request, or the Bureau of Streets LA, is requesting, recommending, 1, that the board find under the California Public Resources Code, Section 21166, and the state's Environmental Quality Act guidelines, Section 15162, on the basis of substantial evidence contained in the whole record, that since the city's prior certification of environmental impact, number EIR, State Clearinghouse number 201-502-1014, there have been no changes to the project, changes with respect to the circumstances under which the project is being undertaken, or new information of substantial importance concerning the project, which cause new significant environmental effects, or a substantial increase in the severity of previously identified significant effects, and therefore no subsequent EIR, supplemental EIR, or other analysis is required for the project. 2, specify that the Bureau of Street Services Urban Forestry Division, located at 1149 South Broadway, is custodian of the documents or other material that constitute the record of proceedings upon which the board's decision is based. And 3, approve the request for a fee tree removal permit to remove 33 trees of various species. Tree replacements are required. Hector Benuelos from Streets LA and Urban Forestry Division is here with us. Good morning, Hector.
Yes, good morning, President Good, Commissioners. I'm Hector Banuelos with the Streets LA Urban Forestry Division, and we have before us is a request to remove 33 street trees of various species for the on 6,100 block of West Century Boulevard. That's between Avion Drive and Vicksburg Avenue in Council District 11. This is all part of the Los Angeles World Airports Landside Access Modernization Program, or otherwise known as LAMP. There's a few segments, a few phases, or if they say, of this whole project, a very large project, about $5.5 billion is the estimated cost of this project here. And the one here is, this is all part of the automated people mover. And the folks there at the World Airports, or contractors, are modifying a good segment there of Century Boulevard, which includes the center median. And they're also installing a brand new roadway, which is going to be known as Jetway Jetway Boulevard, which is on the north side of Century between Avion and Vicksburg. So as part of all the roadway improvements and roadway modifications, including right turn lanes, left turn lanes, and street light infrastructure modifications and relocations, it's going to severely impact 33 trees, which include 8 Canary Island pine palms, 12 Mexican fan palms, and 13 Tipuana tipu trees there that are growing both on the south side of Century and the center medians and along the north side of Century Boulevard. The council office, CD Council District 11, the Community Forestry Advisory Committee, and the Department of Neighborhood Empowerment were notified of the tree removal permit request. We did receive some communication from Council District 11 in support of the project as well as the tree removals for this segment here of the LAMP program. If approved, the LAWA will be replacing the trees at 2-to-1 with a minimum of 24-inch box-sized trees, and the trees will be watered for a minimum of 3-year period. That concludes my report. Any questions?
I'm sure there will be lots of questions, Hector. Thank you very much. Let's start off the discussion. Actually, we have a caller. Ms. D'Antonio is on. Dr. Campos, can you bring Ms. D'Antonio into the fold?
Yeah, absolutely. Ms. D'Antonio, can you please press *6 on your device? You will be given 2 minutes to speak on item number 2. Please go ahead.
Yes, hi. This is a questioning of the city's lack of communication with the community. The Urban Forestry Division tree removal notice for this went out September 15th to CFAC and the Neighborhood Council. So the Neighborhood Council did not even have 30 days to respond before this hearing. On September 17th, 2 days after it went out, I received this email from the Neighborhood Council with marked aerial diagram photos trying to figure out what is going on. I'm going to read an email from Cord Thomas, board member of the Westchester Playa Neighborhood Council. Hello, Joanne. This is pretty upsetting. So many of these 44 trees are very mature and healthy. What would it take to get this process updated? I find it quite inadequate and too pro forma. In the 2 years I have been tracking this, there has yet to be a tree removal decline in our neighborhood. What I would like to see is bullet points, aerial photographs indicating the trees to be removed, something like the attached, and he attached 2 aerial photos with diagrams. Provide more accurate, specific addresses. This permit requests lists 9,700 Glasgow. There's a place, court, avenue, etc. Ideally, defend why each tree must be removed. All of this would take a few more minutes and would make understanding the impact and alternatives more easily understood. There is not nearly enough in this permit application for the UFD to make a meaningful determination. Thoughts? Okay, that's from Cord. Now I'm speaking. How could the Westchester Playa Neighborhood Council not be considered in this project? I saw a presentation at CFAC and know the ship has sailed to remove between 500 and 1,000 trees for the People Mover project. I realize there is replanting when the project is finished for the next.
Please finish your thoughts. Thanks.
Okay, why am I the volunteer that has to do the outreach and explain to the public when the documents are in the transmittals, but we only get them yesterday?
Thank you, Ms.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for being with us. All right, colleagues, let's open this up for conversation. I want to start with Vice President Garcia.
Thank you, President Good. Hector, just one question. I'm going through the report right now. What's going to happen there in once the trees are removed?
They are doing some roadway modifications, Commissioner. They're installing a brand new roadway on the north side of Century, which is going to impact a few trees there along the north side of Century. They're also because of that, they have to modify the center median to accommodate a left turn lane onto Jetway. In addition, they're widening also the south side of Century Boulevard for the so to add on some right turn lanes onto. I'm not sure what the street is there, but they're doing several roadway modifications that are going to impact the trees. To address some of the concerns that Ms. D'Antonio had, we sent notice to Department of Neighborhood Empowerment, the council office, and to CPAC on July 22nd. I'm not sure where she got the September 15th date, but we did send out notice. I have confirmation that we sent out the notices back in July of this year. Right? And also, additionally to that, the trees were posted for a minimum of 30 days. They were posted back in, gosh, look at that date. They were posted several on June 23rd as well. So there was plenty of notifications, in my opinion, and far exceeds the our standard of 30 days.
That's all for me. Thank you, President. And Hector.
Thank you, Vice President Garcia. Also, I would note from the report that Council District 11 is supportive of the request, albeit I'm sure reticent in their hearts. President Pro Tem Davis, any questions or comments?
No, I was just going to ask the question about the involvement of Council District 11 and if they've had an opportunity to know that these constituents have some concerns about the matter. I think it's always helpful when a conversation can take place with community groups and the field representatives from the council office. And even though we do the work and we do deal with constituents as well, it's extremely helpful when the council office is also involved.
Agreed. Thank you, President Pro Tem Davis. Commissioner Closa.
Thank you, President Good. I have follow-up questions for Mr. Banuelos. Thank you for your presentation. Thank you, Ms. D'Antonio, for your public comment, as always. In the report, the Lamb Street Tree Master Plan that's mentioned, was Streets LA involved in the formation of that, or were they involved beyond these individual requests? Just curious.
Yes, the Streets LA is involved with all the segments there of this whole project here. We're closely monitoring the progress and the needs to remove the trees. And contrary to what several believe, Streets LA does scrutinize the plans. We do try to ensure that all tree removals are justified and not just rubber stamping them and improving them and send them to the board. So with this case here in particular, we had our initial request was for 114 trees. We questioned the tree removals along Century Boulevard, and we scrutinized the plans and to get more clarification as to why all 114 trees were supposed to be removed. With that, they retracted the request and then reduced the number of trees on that particular portion, leaving out the Century Boulevard. So previously, we did approve the board did approve a request for 58 trees that were part of this automatic people mover. Now, in this particular area of Century Boulevard, they initially approached us with their request to remove. Well, they reduced them to 33 trees on this segment, which leads us to a total of 91 trees that they previously requested for 114. So that's a reduction of about 23 trees there of needed to be removed. And so we do scrutinize the plan. We have been working with Los Angeles World Air Force or contractors and all the designers to ensure that whatever mature trees are there that are retained as best as they can. There's going to be a few more other project segments coming up. Hopefully, it'll be the last two that are coming up on the horizon. And I'll speak to LAWA to address the needs to address some of the neighborhood councils and to make sure that they're informed of what the future holds for the trees as well.
Thank you, Hector. I think I only asked you one question, but you answered like 5, so I appreciate it. You made that easy for me. Thank you for sharing also the number of trees that Streets LA helped save from removal. I think that's always such an important part of your report that doesn't get talked about often enough, and that you really do try to save as many trees as possible. And then just one last question for me is, was there any community involvement at all in this Lamb Street Tree Master Plan? I'm more just asking for awareness.
I know that LAWA, or Los Angeles World Airports, the design team did the Community Forestry Advisory Committee. This was a while back when it was starting, when we received an initial request to remove, I believe it was 270 trees when they're constructing the consolidated rent-a-car facility, or otherwise known as CONRAC. And that request, they initially wanted to remove several more, dozen trees on that. And I believe they're coming back to remove a few more, several more, actually, within the next couple of weeks or so. But they did perform some outreach. I really do not know, I can't really speak for them as to what outreach was actually performed after that. That's something I hope that can be addressed on the next request.
Yeah, that would be helpful just for awareness from us, and also, to have a master plan document. Again, I don't know too much about the specific street tree master plan for the lamp, but, typically our process at the city is that we do have some level of outreach and public engagement. So we'd love to definitely know and understand that more for the next time LAWA requests like that before the board. But thank you for your report. I don't think I have any other questions for you.
Thank you, Commissioner Colosa. Thank you, Mr. Benuelos. I know, just in looking at this, I know that President Pro Tem Davis is going to be disappointed. A lot of these are palm trees.
Okay. Yes.
I'm disappointed. Yeah, I mean, it's always heartbreaking to see trees go down. They don't all look that healthy from a very amateur perspective. That's actually, we send that. Mr. Benuelos, you touched on this. Are these healthy?
Yes, they're in fair condition. Some of the, I just want to note that some of the broadhead trees, the tip 1 or tipus, they're trimmed quite often, by the Los Angeles World Airports. They trim a lot. They do perform a lot of trimming. These trees do grow very fast. And the last photos I've seen of several of those trees, they were severely trimmed, unfortunately. But yeah, but they're there. They're in fair condition.
All right. Well, this is obviously a very significant, complex, and gargantuan project for the city of Los Angeles, for the entire region of Southern California. Painful as it is, there will be a lot of replacement trees put out there. I appreciate your time, Ms. D'Antonio. Thank you so much, as always, for your incredibly important input. Mr. Benuelos, I'm going to assume that we're just going to continue to run away on notification with neighborhood councils. I would actually ask that you, in your notification to Dunn, if you could just ping them to make sure they've actually reached out to the neighborhood councils moving forward once you send that notice. But with that, do I have a motion to approve?
So moved, Mr. President.
Can I say something?
Oh, sure, of course, Ms. B.
You didn't call on me, so.
Gosh, I'm so sorry.
That's okay. I was going to ask Mr. Benuelos if the next time we have another set of tree removals on this project, if LAWA can also attend, so they can review their EIR process and then the outreach meetings that were had. That would be helpful for the public. You can go on. Thank you. That was on my card.
Okay. My sincere apologies. That was very much an unintentional move. So, President Pro Tem Davis, are you still motioning to approve?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Do I have a second?
Wow.
I'll second.
Okay. Well, I think Commissioner Colosa actually did. So I got 2 seconds from Commissioner Colosa, Vice President Garcia. Any objections, Commissioner Villegas? None. Okay. Hearing no objections, this request is approved forthwith. Thank you very much, Hector. Appreciate your time. Thank you, Ms. D'Antonio. With that, Dr. Campos, have we cleared the deck?
Yes, you have.
All right. Thank you very much, colleagues. This meeting is hereby adjourned. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.